Hey, I'm Griffin, and this is Zimomo. It's the largest Labubu in the Labubu universe. The retail price of about 200 bucks. I bought this in the middle of the hype, and everybody who walked in my office for the past 6 months would make some sort of comment about it. Whoa, huge Labubu! Indeed. But in the past month or so, almost nobody's commenting on it. No memes, no questions, no asking if we have them for sale. So what's going on? Is Labubu dying? No. But will Labubu, the biggest trend of 2025, stand the test of time? Will these guys launch into orbit and be in pop culture forever? Or will they end up in your closet with your Beanie Babies? Let's talk about it. So if you're into collectibles at all, you've probably seen photos like these on the internet of a literal wall of Labubu. Some reseller just got their new pickup and they're ready to give them to you for a 30% markup. And hey, fair game, you know, if you're buying that much quantity, make your markup, make your money. That's just business on a fundamental level. All for it. As a business owner myself, I found my own avenues to buy these things, and I was at one point offered said wall of Labubu, a huge warehouse full. Could buy as much as I wanted. And look, it was a solid deal, and I was really considering it, but something inside of me, my gut said, I'm not so sure about this. Do I want to put all of my eggs in this basket? So then I asked myself, why is my gut holding me back on buying a larger sum of these products? I mean, they're selling faster than Pokemon cards. That says a lot. Wouldn't this be a no-brainer? I've been following the Pop Mart world for about a year now, and if you had asked me right when I discovered it, I would have taken the Labubu wall, no question. But a year later when I was offered, I imagined myself with a huge back room full of Labubu, unable to sell it, with a single little tear dripping down my face as I look over my terrible investment. I think what my gut was telling me is, what if the hype dies off? I mean, Labubu shot up in popularity, similar to Hawk to a Girl, you know what I mean? It shoots up and then dies. And what if it has that same fate? Labubu coin? And in that moment, I decided it won't last. I want to break down the reasons why I think Labubu might be destined to fail, and then after that, I'll go over reasons why it could very well succeed. So let's get into the downsides. Lack of diversity in products. Okay, this is my main qualm with Labubu plush in general. Each blind set box only has 6 unique items in it. That means if you bought the whole box, you get all 6. Except for the secret. There's always a chance of the secret. Let's say I just discovered Labubu and I love it. I want to spend my whole paycheck on it. So I go out and I buy one of each box. Have a Seat, Macaroon, and Big Into Energy. Well, I've got 18 Labubu and that's all of them. I've got all the plush. All of them. Assuming I don't get the secret rare, I just have to get those online. They're like 3 to 4 times the normal cost, and boom, I'm done. Now I'm waiting 6 months for the next one. Now, of course, there's tons of other Labubu. There's Zimomo. There's all these ones in the middle that you just buy. They're not blind boxes, but I'm saying the blind box product itself. This guy is not gonna stay. You're sitting down here. So these are cases of plush that people are buying in massive quantities, but there's only 6 unique products inside. You starting to see the problem here? It's all kind of the same thing over and over. So when you buy this case in huge quantity, you're only really buying 6 unique products, and it's just not diverse enough. You want there to be 10 different types of secrets, 100 different plush, you know? Make it a collection that you're constantly building. You want to be chasing the dragon in a way, right? Always trying to get that next thing. That's what makes collecting fun, for me at least. And like, not to make everything about Pokemon cards, but if you wanted a master set of Pokemon cards, you have to open like 500 packs. If you want a master set of Have a Seat, you just need 1 box. So I think that these plush keychains lack a rarity structure that lets you keep coming back to buy more. Now, for better or for worse, for sure, a lot easier for the consumer, but less fun to collect. What that's doing long-term is it's making it harder for people to stay interested in the product. If you get all 6 of these and you're just waiting for the next set, you're not really chasing anything. Chasing is a super fun part of collecting. It's super important. Side note, ethically speaking, we shouldn't have to gamble for our toys, but we're already in this hellhole, so we might as well get some dopamine, right? All right, number 2, authenticity is undervalued in this community. A YouTuber that you haven't subscribed to once said, if something exists and it's very popular, there's probably fakes of it. Well, Labubu is no exception. If it exists and it's popular, there are fakes of it. The Labubu market is absolutely flooded with fakes, and it can be hard to tell if they're legit or not, especially if you don't have a reference point of a real one. As I walk around and see vendors, I see tons of fakes. They're everywhere. Like, it cannot be stopped at this point. There might even be more fakes than real ones. In fact, maybe Probably. I think for a lot of people, the casual collector, a Lafufu serves the same like purpose as a Labubu. They don't really care. They just want the cute little monster guy. It's a Labubu either way to them, right? Authenticity is not what it's about. I don't want to invalidate that idea. If you like your fake Labubu, I don't care at all. It's a little stuffed animal for all I care. But it indicates a larger problem with the customer base. So for the average Joe buying one on the street, they don't really care if it's fake or not. They can't tell the difference, and it's serving the same purpose. Number 3, too many cooks in the kitchen. When I first learned about Labubu in general, I was told that they're very hard to find. They're flying off the shelves instantly, so if you can get your hands on them, big deal. And that was true for the first 3 or 4 months that I was buying them, but when Labubu really took off, which I would say was around March of 2025, supply seemed not to be an issue anymore. Buying Labubu at retail price has always been a struggle, but buying on the secondhand market used to be tough, and now they're everywhere. Authentics too. So the secondary market has been healthy lately, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. So many people have those walls of Labubu, you know? So unlike Pokemon cards, which only print once, maybe twice if they announce it, they just keep making these things. And they'll keep making these things until they don't need to anymore. But the flip side of that for collectors is scarcity is sort of correlated with rarity. So people want to collect rare things. And if these things keep being made over and over and over, they're not really rare anymore. So it's keeping the everyday price low, which is great for everyone who wants one. But for collectors, they're not really seeing that rarity that they crave. And in the same vein, there are so many people flipping Labubus that oftentimes it feels like supply is actually greater than demand. My last point's kind of a small one, but I don't think anyone really cares about the lore. I don't think many people know about the lore. And being attached to the lore is very important to make a long-standing universe. Sorry to make it about Pokemon again, but when Pokemon blew up, everybody knew what every Pokemon did. Ash was going to catch them all. We were going to become Pokemon masters, right? I don't even think a lot of people know the first thing about Labubu. So are these buyers really attached to the monsters and the lore of the whole thing? Or do they just like cute little plush? Because the attention span that they're willing to give that is going to change based on that fact. So that's a very long way to spell out why my gut said no. I think all those thoughts ran through my head very quickly. The products lack diversity, they lack rarity, and supply seems to be outweighing demand these days. Look, this is just my perspective as a small business owner. This is the reason why I didn't buy a wall of them. I think in retrospect, I probably could have sold them. The hype has lived long enough for that, but I was hesitant, and I want to explain why. So look, Labubus might be a little bit off track from becoming this rare, scarce collectible, but Pop Mart is an incredible company, and they're totally responsible for this blind box craze you're seeing at every store these days. So let's talk about why Labubus do have a chance of making it into orbit. Okay, so if you've made it this far, I'm giving this away. So let's open it up really quick. Come on, big money, big money, big money, big. Okay, Pink, if you leave a comment about the Labubu lore that people may not know, I'll enter you to win this, all right? Winner announced 2 weeks from the published date of this video. It's time to talk about why Pop Mart can totally succeed. Huge diversity in product. Pop Mart is not just the people who make Labubus. They're a toy empire. They license with huge companies like Disney. They stock their shelves with everything from small blind boxes to massive designer toys. All that to say, Pop Mart hasn't put all their eggs in the Labubu basket. They have other characters too. In that case, I think they're set up for success. Labubu can die, but other products can go into the spotlight later on. Number 2, they can meet their demand of their products very well. So earlier I was criticizing Pop Mart from a collector's standpoint for printing their items to demand, because that hurts the rarity, right? But I need to talk about the bright side as well. Pop Mart does an incredible job of meeting the demand for their products. That's how you set yourself up for a healthy business long term. I just noticed this was here. Get out of here. Another thing that cannot be discounted is people show up in person for these things. Think about how online shopping has plagued the world. We buy almost nothing in person, but people will drive to the mall, they'll go to the store just for Pop Mart. That is saying something. They have redesigned in-person shopping unlike anything we've seen in the past 10 years minimum. By the numbers in the resale market, there's a pretty steady pipeline for Labubus. They get snatched up at retail price, they go onto the secondary market, and they sell for about double. That whole pipeline of the product has not really changed since I discovered them back in 2023, and I don't see it changing anytime soon because they're getting snatched up off the shelves every single time they have a new drop. With all of this in mind, what do you think is the fate of Labubus? Is this nothing more than a meme that came and went? Or could this be the next huge collectible market, blind boxes with Pop Mart in the forefront? Honestly, I can see it going both ways, but clearly I didn't believe in it enough to invest back then, and I'm still kind of on the fence right now. At the end of the day, we cannot predict the market. Someone could Make a tweet that's a joke about Labubu that could tank the entire market or shoot it up 100x like Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to comment something about Labubu lore. Peace.